Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Well, hello, it's Dexter and me again, back on your screens from lockdown here in gloriously sunny South Wales. I hope you're all doing well and coping with whatever restrictions you're living under, and hope you're staying healthy, fit, sane and virus free. I can't believe the weather we're having here at the moment. Usually South Wales at this time of the year is dire to say the least. We usually get a lot of rain, it's cold, it's windy, but the last few weeks, ironically, since we've been on lockdown and can't go anywhere, the weather's been absolutely superb. We've had, I think, 1 day's rain in 5 or 6 weeks. The sunrises and sunsets have been absolutely spectacular, and we've all been stuck at home, unable to get out with our cameras, although I did manage to get one shot of the sunrise from a back garden and a phone shot then of sunset from the top of my driveway. How romantic. I've also been trying some artsy type still life photography of like shooting the light coming through my bedroom window, but that soon got pretty boring and pretentious. I don't really enjoy that sort of photography anyway, but there we are, needs must. But on to the main reason for today's video, and that is that I bought something again. Now, a couple of videos ago I alluded to the fact that I might get a Fujifilm or Fujinon, whatever you want to call it, 80mm macro lens, and then I looked at the prices of Fujifilm 80mm macro lenses and quickly changed my mind. Now, for my close-up and macro work, if you want to call it that, I've been using a Nikon, an old Nikon 105mm D lens adapted onto my X-T3. Now, while I've been really happy with the results that produces, it has its limitations. You couldn't autofocus, obviously, with it. And although metering wasn't really a problem, I was finding that I wasn't really that happy with the images. So rather than fork out a load of money on a Fuji lens, I went ahead and bought, in 2020, a 2008 camera, a Nikon D700. Now, there were 3 main reasons for getting this camera in 2020. The first one is that I'd used one before. I really love the images that the camera produced. I had it for about a year back in 2013 before I part-exed it for a Nikon D800, which again was a great camera, but I really regretted selling the D700. There was something about the images that came out of that camera. They were more organic and analog, if you like, than a clinical digital file. And although it's only 12 megapixels, that's enough, to be honest, unless you're heavily cropping. The second reason is that I've got a number of Nikon lenses, which I was using with my film camera. I've got my 105mm macro. I've also got an old 28-70 and a 75 to 150mm lens. And I figured that I could get more use out of those if I bought a Nikon full frame camera. And the third reason was the fact that it is full frame. I've now got an APS-C in my Fuji X-T3. I've got a full frame and I've got a medium format. So all I need now to complete the collection is a micro four thirds. And I am looking at getting one of those when all this is over. Again, not a new one, I'll get a second-hand one. Using the D700 with the Nikon lens has been an absolute joy. I've got my autofocus back, obviously, but because it's made for that camera, I think the results are a little bit better. Ease of use is better. You just, I've set the aperture ring to f32 on the lens, locked it, and then you can use the front command dial on the D700 to set aperture. That has bitten me once because I rushed out with the camera to get a picture of a dappled white butterfly, and for some reason the camera was locked on f32, which was a bit of a pain. And even though I got the image I wanted, the background really isn't blurry enough. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It was only the second image I'd ever taken with the camera, so that has now been logged in my memory bank, and I won't make that same mistake again. And that really is just about it. Oh, the price of the camera, would you believe, £245. It's got 45,000 shutter actuations on it. And though it's not, I'll grab it. Though it's not really in mint condition, it's absolutely fine. I mean, it's a 12-year-old camera at the end of the day. The card door's a bit shiny, but all the rubbers are absolutely fine. The EVF is fine. The OVF is fine. The back screen is scratch-free, blemish-free, absolutely lovely. Sensor is fine. The mount's fine. Underneath is complete with all the rubber grommets that you get underneath, because a lot of the ones I was looking at, they were missing. Yeah, so I really couldn't be happier with my purchase. I got it from a company called, I think it's MBP or MPB here in the UK. Check them out. They got loads of stock, really fair prices, and you can part X gear, or you can sell gear to them if you want, at really fair prices. I've used them a couple of times now. They've been great. Delivery is quick. Yeah, couldn't be happier with the service from them. And really couldn't be happier with this camera. So with the weather as it is right now, I'm going to get back out into my garden and try and tempt some insects in there with some sugary water or something, and shoot away. Anyway, that's it from Dexter and me for this week. As I said, I hope you're all well. Stay well. Stay out of harm's way, please. Keep yourself and your families and your friends and your loved ones safe, and don't fall victim to this horrible disease. Hopefully we're going to be out of this situation soon, hopefully by the end of the summer. But one thing you can guarantee is, as soon as lockdown is ended, the weather will break and it'll start to rain. That's a given. Yep. Perhaps the government are keeping an eye on the long-range weather forecast. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. I hope you found this in some way useful and even entertaining, I don't know. And Dexter and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. Yes, I am. In the days between the hours, ivory towers, bloody flowers push their heads into the air. I don't care if I ever know. There I go. Don't push your love too far. Your wounds won't leave a scar. Right now is where you are, in a broken dream. Did so